Yeah, we have a lot to discuss. Let's kick it off diving right into Bitcoin. We just broke an all-time high. Yesterday it hit $61,000 plus. I know we've been anticipating this for a very long time, but where do you feel Bitcoin is likely to go by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, I think we're going to hit 100 grand easily. And I've got my sights now. I raised it from 250 to 1.3 million based on some recent numbers that I've seen. And of course, Elon Musk and Saylor have just upped the game for us. And I was looking at numbers. 3.5 billion dollars of their investment. It looks like about 25% of that represented $30,000 of the rise in the currency. So $3.5 billion represented, say, about $7,500 in price is what I'm seeing. Those are very raw numbers, but man, this take 1% of the market share of the entire asset base of gold and silver and energy and land. You're looking at $100 trillion, 1%. So I'm saying $1.3 million within the next 36 months.
Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button, that's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, BlockFi, the leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. Here's where you can put your crypto to work. They're paying out a 6% annual percentage yield on Bitcoin, so you can literally have your Satoshis work for you. They're paying out 5.25% on Ethereum, as well as 9.3% on USDT. Now, what I love about BlockFi, besides the fact that they're so easy to use and that there's no hidden fees, they are backed by the biggest names in the industry, including Winklevoss, Fidelity, Morgan Creek, and Coinbase. And they have a promo running right now where you can get up to a $250 crypto bonus with a deposit of $25 or more. All you need to do is click my referral link in the description below. It'll take you here, then click this yellow button that says sign up, and you'll notice the referral code already pre-populated for you to take advantage of this special bonus. So what are you waiting for? Click the link right down below, and let's start stacking those sats. Shall we? Yo, what's good? JV here from Crypto News Alerts. I have a very special guest in the house with us today, Tom McMurrain, the founder of CMDX, the fastest growing health rewards cryptocurrency in the world. Very excited to be here. It's been a very long time since you last been on the show. How you been, man?
Oh, man, I'm honored to be one of your first guests, too. So I'm excited to be here. I appreciate you taking the time to talk about crypto today with me.
Yeah, we have a lot to discuss. Let's kick it off diving right into Bitcoin. We just broke an all-time high. Yesterday it hit $61,000 plus. I know we've been anticipating this for a very long time, but where do you feel Bitcoin is likely to go by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, I think we're going to hit 100 grand easily. And I've got my sights now. I raised it from 250 to 1.3 million based on some recent numbers that I've seen. And of course, Elon Musk and Saylor have just upped the game for us. And I was looking at numbers. 3.5 billion dollars of their investment. It looks like about 25% of that represented $30,000 of the rise in the currency. So $3.5 billion represented, say, about $7,500 in price is what I'm seeing. Those are very raw numbers, but man, this take 1% of the market share of the entire asset base of gold and silver and energy and land. You're looking at $100 trillion, 1%. So I'm saying $1.3 million within the next 36 months.
Nice. So 1.3 million within the next 3 years, and you're saying 100,000 before the end of the year. Which month do you feel will peak out at here in 2021?
I think we'll see that mad rush for December, that rise in December, everybody, racking it up, and then they'll do their selling after January, their tax selling after January. But I think the fourth quarter is where we always see the major rise. But damn, we have so much momentum in crypto right now. It's incredible.
For real.
It's the US people making the noise about it, but you know what? It's the rest of the world adopting it.
Yeah, and I saw in the headlines today, India is attempting to ban cryptocurrency. Once again, they've been doing this for a long time. It typically never works, but what are they thinking? They're going to give their citizens 6 months to get rid of all their hodlings. I think this is only going to encourage people to hodl even more. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, we've got an article coming out about that, and Algeria's done it, Egypt's done it, in Nigeria. I mean, every country that comes out and says that, it's like they want it to work there, because it has the opposite impact, and that's we have an article coming out about that, the ban theory. It works every time in our favor, so I hope everybody bans it.
How long do you think this bull market will run? Do you think, 24 months, next year it'll top out and we'll go back to a bear market? But how long do you see this current bull run lasting?
Some people say the bull market will be tied to the interest rates in the United States if they start raising them and tightening up money. We know the stimulus, the 40 billion that's coming in, they're saying about 40 billion of that potentially could go into crypto in the United States. So it has to do with cash inflows. It's a supply and demand. So if there's more cash out there, there's going to be a higher price in crypto. There's less cash out there, and higher inflation and higher gas prices, that's going to tighten up everybody's pockets. It's pretty simple math. When you look at it, all boils down to how many free dollars people have in their pockets.
Amen. And right now, the Bitcoin market cap is sitting at just above $1 trillion. We touched about 1.1 trillion. How high can you see this market cap climbing this year or during this bull cycle?
You mean as far as all cryptos?
Yeah, total crypto market cap. I should say at first I meant Bitcoin when I said 1 trillion, 1.1, but I think the current overall crypto market cap is probably about 1.7 right now. But yeah, what's your perspective on that?
I think we can easily see a $3+ trillion market cap, industry wide. It's and I'll say this: I have an article coming out that's it's calling Bitcoin is really the AOL of cryptocurrency, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think that Bitcoin is topped out. In our perspective, 20x more is topping out. Okay, I'm looking at cryptos that are doing 200 or 2000x. I want to go back to 2015 when I was stupid and sold a bunch of my Bitcoins. I want to go back there and get back in. And so I've made the comment before, I don't know if I did it on your show, but I said, I don't think the biggest cryptocurrencies have been introduced yet. I think Bitcoin is the AOL of cryptocurrency. For those that don't remember, that was America Online, created by Steve Case. It proved the concept. It made everybody aware of the internet. AOL did, but it didn't dominate the show. And, I was talking with one of my relatives the other day, and they're like, what should I do with this 100 grand? I said, man, you should break it up into about 20 different cryptos, pick 20 of them out of the top 100 and put 5 grand in each one, but definitely own Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with 20x. I don't see anything, or 30, even 30x, but 5,000x is gone with Bitcoin. That's never going to happen with Bitcoin, but it did. And that means, Justin, it can be done again by another crypto. And that's what I want to be a part of.
Right on. So in your opinion, you believe the largest cryptocurrency in the world hasn't even been introduced yet. It's not going to be Ethereum. It's not going to be Bitcoin, but something else will eventually come along. As you mentioned, AOL example with the internet. Then we had all these other big companies come about. Wow, that's fascinating to think that another crypto could outpace Bitcoin, considering it took, 11, 12 years for it to get to that $1 trillion market cap.
Yeah, well, but look at what's going on. We have some major things happening. I want to bring up 3 things to your attention that are happening in the next 3 to 5 years that are a game changer for this industry. Number one, we've already got acceptance. People are getting it. Elon Musk is in, I'm in. You put $1.5 billion in, and who cares what Warren Buffett says? He just doesn't believe in it because it's not his gig. But there's 3 things that are happening. Number one, we're going to see the tipping point of cryptocurrency by the end of 2023. That means 13% of the world will be using it. Less than 2 or 3% of the world using it right now.
Wow, 13% within the next 36 months.
36 months, okay? The second thing that's happening, Starlink's going up. I just got my Starlink satellite ordered. It's coming in. And that means there's 3 billion other people in the world that will have access to the internet. So the internet economy, the first 3 billion took 50 years to get online. In the next 5 years, another 3 billion people can come online. So the entire internet economy is going to double. And then the last thing I've noticed is, and I heard this through Peter Diamandis, that in the next 24 months, the smartphone will drop below $30 to manufacture. And what that means is big corporations will start giving them away for free because they're the ultimate data collection devices. And so big companies like Amazon may say, hey, do Prime and we'll give you a free mobile phone. but it's going to have a 20-page EULA agreement, attached to it that says we want to monitor everything you do because we want to sell you.
Because nothing is ever really free. We're giving away our data. But back to number two, tell us more about Starlink. What is this technology? I'm not even too familiar with it.
Starlink is it's a satellite system. I think Musk got like 16,000 satellites approved, and of course he owns his own space company, so it's easy to throw them up in the air. But he's putting a constellation of 16,000 satellites. I can't remember the exact number, but it will grid 95% of the world with internet coverage. And they did a speed test on it, 75 megabit download.
Holy moly!
And that's phase one. Phase two is they're going to use lasers with zero latency, meaning no delay whatsoever. And you'll be able to use them on sailboats, but that'll give everybody internet coverage. And think about all these new emerging growth people that are coming online. They're going to have a free smartphone. They're going to have ridiculous bandwidth, that more than people did during the Clinton administration. They're going to have more powerful computers in their hand than the United States government had in a building. And so it's just really amazing. But yeah, Starlink's going to open up. You'll have internet coverage from the Sahara Desert to the top of Mount Everest.
Wow, which leads us to the number three one you talked about. You're saying they're going to be able to produce a smartphone for less than $30. Correct. Are we talking about comparable to the iPhone? Will you be able to do like all the things we can currently do on our devices, just more technologically advanced, so cheaper to produce?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. It all boils down to the firmware. I mean, all the technology is pretty much the same. It's just the cost of the manufacturing cost of being able to do it. Moore's law is driving that. The processor's getting faster, smaller, cheaper. And hey, I will tell you what, there are people in Africa that would love a third generation iPhone right now. So maybe it's not as good as what we have with the current iPhone 12, but it's going to be able to do banking. It's going to be able to do social media. It's going to be able to do communications and watch movies and download a full-length movie in 5 seconds.
Incredible. So this is what's going to lead to 13% of the population adopting cryptocurrency. Where are we at right now? Like, would you say 1%?
The last number I saw was 2%, and that was a little while ago. So I'm going to say we're probably bumping up in the 3% range based on wallet count. It's 13% is going to be huge, and those things are driving that. There's some big market factors there that are driving it, and Elon Musk his promotion of Dogecoin is helping all of us.
Yeah, that is the most hilarious ever. He stays pumping. I mean, he stays promoting it and talking about it. Do you feel that now that Tesla put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, do you think SpaceX could be a next company to follow, considering obviously owned by Elon Musk as well?
I think there could be SpaceX. I think there could be Apple. I think there could be, some of the biggest hedge funds in the world. Sovereign wealth funds are looking at it. I mean, it's a store of value. And I was thinking about that the other day when I was knowing we were going to do this interview. And I just think that people need to understand there's going to be three types of crypto. There's going to be stores of value like Bitcoin. There's going to be, let's call them dApps, or what I like to call utility tokens like DeFis and NFTs and things like that actually perform a function with a smart contract, or what we call layered money. And then there's going to be the ones that are actually currencies. And I can't even believe I'm quoting Mark Cuban on this, but Bitcoin, because he was a total jack about, cryptocurrency in the beginning, but Bitcoin is not a currency. It never will be. And I'm with Cuban on that one, even though I didn't appreciate his views initially. It's not a currency. It's too slow. It's too expensive. And until companies figure out how to reduce that transaction cost, you just can't go buy a bottle of $20 vitamins like on our marketplace recently with the cost of an ERC20 token transaction at $27. When the transaction fee costs more than the product, right, you got a problem.
And I was just doing an episode discussing Max Kaiser, and he's saying originally Bitcoin was intended as a store of value, and they had the narrative all flip because that's how currencies kind of start out. And now they have applications like the Lightning Network and Strike, where you could basically instantaneously send and receive money around the world virtually for free. So I believe this, crypto adoption is just getting started, and we may see it used more commonly as a form of payment and currency, but definitely store value is the primary use case. And I believe that's why the institutional FOMO, like a mofo, as I like to say, is going to continue. I feel like we're just getting started. Now let's switch gears a little and discuss. I know you have a community of over 300,000 people. I know you said you're very excited. CMDX is finally being listed in a top exchange. Could you kind of touch upon this and what's going on currently with CMDX?
Yeah, we've been working on this for about 4 years and gone through a couple pivots and dealt with the technology challenges that everybody has with the increased fees. And we've created one of the largest health and wellness communities. It's a crypto rewards community. I think that's probably one of the biggest business models in addition to NFTs and DeFi and stuff like that. I think one of the top 5 applications is going to be using cryptocurrency to reward people for certain behaviors. And that's what we're doing with CMDX. We reward them for health and business related activities. And we have something unique that I think that nobody else really has. We have a genealogical tracking software that actually allows people to build their own economy. And, you know, I have the ability, unlike Bitcoin, to know, like, if you had introduced people to this, I know everybody. We have a lady in our organization. She introduced 30 people from Africa, and now there's like 111,000 people that are responsible for her. And I know that because my software tracks that. And I like having that ability because we're going to be able to tell people they can build their own economy and rock it. And certainly the transaction fees have slowed us down a little bit because the people in Africa can't afford, you know, a $20 transaction fee or a $40 transaction fee. So we are launching CMD Zero, XERO, and that is our off-chain, or what we call a layer 2 technology that will allow, kind of like Lightning, will allow people to be able to mint tokens, do wallet-to-wallet transfers, shop on our marketplace, completely transaction-free. And I think that's a game changer. And it is a blockchain-based, crypto. But the cool thing is CMDX Zero, as we're calling it, is tied to our market price of our public token. And you can go from the private to the public marketplace with it. So you can play with it, you can earn it, it's going up in value in the private marketplace. But when you want to take it to the exchange and sell it, you just transfer it to the public environment and you can go sell it on the exchange. So the 2 blockchains are synchronized, the private one and the public one, to the exact same token amount, same dollar amount. The only difference is our Zero environment has 0 transaction cost, hence the name CMD Zero.
Wow. So how do you go about doing that at 0 cost? How, like, it always trips me out, even Lightning Network. I'm like, how in the world is that even possible? How does that technology work? How do you do it?
You run private nodes. I mean, you pay your own server expense, you know, and you put up a blockchain, you put up an Explorer so they can see all the transactions. It's equally as transparent as a public one. It's just you're running 2 independent nodes to validate the transactions. But when you go from private to public, that blockchain has got to be perfectly synchronized with the public one. And if it's not, the transaction won't go through. And so that's the importance of having them both synchronized and maintaining it that way. So we actually, as we say in our business, we will be the maker and the taker on the private blockchain, which means we can determine fees later if we want to. For now, they're going to be free, and maybe in the future, it'd be $1 per transaction. I don't know, to cover technology costs and stuff like that. But that's kind of the way PayPal started out. They started out with free transactions, email to email, and next thing you know, they're charging fees later. So,
is this on the Ethereum blockchain, or is it a completely different blockchain?
Yeah, no, it's on the Ethereum blockchain, yes, but it'll be on a test net, like a private blockchain, but it's Ethereum based.
Oh, that's fantastic. Very excited to hear about that. So tell me something about CMDX. You mentioned this exchange. I know you sent me some info on it earlier. They are pretty excited about. Tell me about this exchange and how do you even go about getting listed, being a top cryptocurrency? How do you even get on the top exchanges to begin with?
Well, usually you pay big money, but what I'm learning is these exchanges, they want companies like me to bring them customers. And so I coming from affiliate marketing, I know if I'm generating leads for a Forex, website, they're paying me money, not me paying them money. And so I think the difference with us is we have a paid army of people that are willing to promote an airdrop. And I've created some buckets of tokens on our blockchain that allow us to expand through airdrops. Airdrops are not always popular because they can suppress the price of your token. But what I've learned from experts is right now it's all about distribution. You think about Jeff Bezos when he built Amazon, he wasn't concerned about making a profit. He was concerned about how many registered users he could get that later on he could sell Prime to. he was a genius. He just focused on distribution. And that's what we're going to be doing is I've learned that to be in the top 100 biggest Ethereum cryptos, we've got to have at least 100,000 wallet users. And one of the important metrics, we had several exchanges start approaching us out of the blue, and I had no idea why, but it's because of the amount of wallet users we have and the number of transactions that we've actually done. I mean, I'm looking at tokens that are coming on to CoinMarketCap that have 1% of what we have, and they're sitting there with $50 million market caps and $100 million market caps. And I'm going, wow, we've got something very special here. And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and that is member acquisition and growing our membership base to 1 million users this year. And hopefully out of that, we'll have about 1% of those will put stores on our Amazon style marketplace, so we can start building one of the largest healthcare marketplaces that accepts cryptocurrency. So that's our business model. We've kind of morphed Amazon, PayPal, and a little bit of Amway. So we want people to be ambassadors and go build their economy with CMDX. And we love it because the people in Africa, they're lifting themselves out of poverty with CMDX. And that's really what it's all about.
Love to hear that. And which countries in Africa are booming the most for CMDX? Is it like Nigeria? Which particular countries?
Yeah, Nigeria is number 2 in the world as far as adoption of cryptocurrency. And you got to think there's 225 million people in an area the state the size of Texas.
Wow.
When things hit, they hit fast and heavy there. And so far, it seems like the Nigerian government's kind of backed off, and they see that it's creating wealth for the people. And I think the politicians always like that. When people have wealth, they make bigger campaign donations, they open businesses, they create jobs. I think there's a lot of positive things that happen in the emerging growth economies as it relates to cryptocurrency. So.
Right. And I did a show maybe a couple of weeks ago, and there was still some sort of was there some sort of crypto ban in Nigeria? I know it was selling at a premium, like way higher than it would typically sell on the local, I think it was localbitcoins.com. So it's always fascinating to me that when a government bans, something like cryptocurrency, that more people just want it because we want what we can't have. Yeah, right. So that's why you mentioned earlier. Yeah, sure. Ban Bitcoin, ban cryptocurrency.
Crypto ban theory. We love it. Bring it. So I encourage every government to ban it. No, they really shouldn't, because it really does help people. And, you're going to have that microcosm of people that use it for illegal activity. But I think the good is going to definitely outweigh the bad with cryptocurrency. And they say where organized financial services takes root, crime decreases and quality of life increases. I can't imagine any politician that really doesn't want that for their country or their local village, And I think Nigeria is an incredible place. The people are hungry there, but there's 1.3 billion people on the entire continent of Africa, and that market alone could make CMDX a $1 trillion market cap, just that one continent.
Epic. And we all know the real illicit use of activity is banks laundering, billions and billions of dollars and just getting slaps on the wrist. So when Janet Yellen came out and she's like, well, crypto is used for illicit activities, is like a slap in the face. It's like, no, the US dollar is notorious for nefarious, activity and bad actors, which we all know. Obviously, she works for the central bank. The central bank is going to war with cryptocurrency right now. It is, what it is. But I think Bitcoin will continue to reign supreme, and it can't be stopped. You can't stop something decentralized. We finally have a currency of the people for the first time in human history that can't be confiscated, which to me is a big deal, because I could trust, the members of government and the organizations behind the government as far as we can throw them, at the end of the day. Now, what is CMDX currently trading for? I believe last year when we did an interview, it reached a certain threshold. So I'm just eager to hear, where it's currently at.
We bounced. We have a large supply, and that's another topic I've just written an article on. Is a bigger supply better? And one of the things we're seeing with Bitcoin, of course, is its volatility because of the limited supply. We have a very large supply. We've been trading between a half a Satoshi up to 2 Satoshis. And we've been putting a lot of supply out on the market. So, that's when you do that, it creates a lot of sellers, and the airdrops will do that too. We're aware of that, but we're going to create trading contests. And as you know, we have token burning. We have a little bit better business model than Bitcoin in that when people use our token to purchase our Brittany subscriptions, we actually burn those supply. And I think today we had like 780 a million tokens burned today from people buying written subscriptions, and that reduces the supply. So we have this new thing that we're promoting called programmatic scarcity, where every time a transaction is done, it actually reduces the supply. And what that'll do is that will encourage people to say, okay, if I hold on to my tokens, I'm going to own more of the pie as time goes on. So as the size, and of course, with our exponential team building system, when we hit 1 million members from there, we're going to jump to 10 million very quickly, hopefully by critical mass. And that's really what I want to do with CMDX, is put 10 million people in the way of critical mass. And I think we'll see mass adoption from 2023 to 2026 very rapidly. It's going to take 3 to 4 years after that tipping point, and it's just going to explode all over the world. And everybody's going to have a cryptocurrency wallet on their phone. And at that point, I tell everybody, I got 1,825 days, man. That's what I'm looking at. 5 years. I'm crushing it for 5 years. And, buy those cryptos, let them sit, don't look at them, and have a balance checking party in 2026.
I'm looking forward to it. I believe 2025 is going to be a pretty big year for Bitcoin. As we all know, every 4 years is a block reward halving. We just had the last halving last year, hence why this year, the year preceding the halving, is when the market goes absolutely nuts and parabolic. So 2024 being the next halving, I think 2025, Bitcoin has the potential to reach $1 million per BTC. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally believe it. So, when I looked at the numbers, it all's going to have to do with capital flow. Capital flow is determined by interest rates. So there are some variables that could affect when it's going to happen. But like I said, my number is $1.3 million on Bitcoin, 20x. But I'm going to stick to the fact that it's the AOL of cryptocurrency, and there are better tokens in the top 100 of coin market cap if you're looking for bigger returns than Bitcoin.
Right on. And what about Ethereum? Could you touch upon where do you see Ethereum going end of the year as far as price? Could you see it surpassing 10K per coin?
Yeah, easily 10K. I think is an easy estimation. 5x. I'm looking at 10x on Ethereum before the end of the year. It's just as there's some big changes coming up in July, some updates they're doing. They're really doing the right thing to make Ethereum a real currency, a real store of value, and it has the layered money aspects with smart contracts on it. It just has everything. So I'm more optimistic about Ethereum being 100xer than I am, Bitcoin being 100xer. I don't 100x on Bitcoin. I'm not going to say it won't do it because it probably will. But I don't think it's going to do it as fast as Ethereum's going to do it.
Okay, so with Ethereum, I think the all-time high is around 2,000. So you're saying you can see Ethereum eventually hitting 200,000, say 2025, 2026, down the road?
Yeah, it's a trusted network like Bitcoin. It has a great proof system as far as validating transactions. It's trusted. Vitalik is a leader that people know is very smart, and he's not doing it for egotistical reasons. He's doing it because he wants to change the world, and basically squeeze out the government issued currency. I think that's a grand mission. But I don't know. I like I said, they're the biggest ones I don't even think have been introduced yet, and those are the ones that are going to do more transactions per second. They're going to have better user interfaces. They're going to be easier to use. And that's what we're focused on. And believe it or not, man, it's the hardest thing when you build a website like ours. I have a new friend of mine, but actually a mutual friend of yours and mine. He's actually doing a UA test on me. He's going over my website and he's just saying this, and you don't see it when you're building it. And I'm just excited about making cryptocurrency easy. People need to know how to acquire it. They need to know how to spend it. They need to know how to accept it as a vendor, and they need to know how to build a portfolio. And that's what our company's all about. If they join our company, they learn that information. And that's what people need to learn right now. It's a mass education party right now. We can't get around it.
Couldn't agree more. And where could people find out more about CMDX? Of course, I'm going to include in the show notes right below this video in the description, all those links for them to just click it. But what's the best website for them to learn more?
I think the best things are our airdrop that we're doing. Go to cmdx.info and watch that 6-minute video we've got on our airdrop. It'll tell you a little bit about our business model. And if you opt in, it gives you a free membership, and you have the opportunity to secure about $325 of CMDX. Jump to a couple hoops, but you'll be able to get that money. And I'll tell you what, I'd love to go back to 2009 and somebody tell me that about Bitcoin. I'd love to say, hey man, if you join this exchange and sign up for a free membership and pay your $50, we'll give you $325 of Bitcoin. Boy, I'd love to go back to 2009. I'd jump on that offer all day long.
100%. Sounds like a no-brainer to me, bro. I appreciate you coming, joining us on the show. Talk to you soon, homie.
Awesome, man. Thank you for your time.
Peace. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right. And turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick, before I go, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, BlockFi, where you can put your crypto to work. They're paying out a 6% annual percentage yield on BTC, as well as 9.3% on USDT. The other flagship product is crypto-backed loans. You ever wonder, how can I access fiat capital without selling my precious crypto? Well, look no further. With BlockFi, you can get an interest rate as low as 4.5%, and they have a special promo running right now where you can get up to a $250 crypto bonus with a deposit of $25 or more. All you got to do is click the link below. It'll take you here. Then click this yellow button that says sign up. You'll notice the referral code already pre-populated for you to take advantage of this special bonus. So what are you waiting for? Click the link right down below. Let's start stacking those sats, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.